I guess as you enter the post-break period, what are kind of your, I guess, goals for development and this, the rest of the way in terms of where you want to see collectively?
Get everybody better. Get everybody better. We're working with all our players, even our older veteran players, on improving their game, improving their defense, improving their body mechanics, offensively, defensively, things in the weight room. Younger guys have gotten an opportunity to play more all season long because of the wide range of injuries and stuff like that, and we've seen tremendous improvement. It's really unlucky what happened to Johnny Furphy because he was making great progress. Walker's made great progress, and even Matherin and Jackson did too. And so now we got some guys and some G League guys on two ways that have a chance to help us and help themselves.
How much growth do you think you've seen in young guys in understanding the style of play and just sort of the way that you guys want to operate, and how much further do you feel like you can take that in a couple of years?
Yeah, it's an adjustment coming and playing for us. We play a different style of offense, and we play a tough style of defense. And some of the big adjustments are defensive. We do things a little differently than a lot of teams, but a lot of teams are kind of coming in the direction of how we're doing things. So, there are adjustments when you go to any new team. Certainly, Zubac and Kobe Brown. We had new terminology. We got different ways of doing things. Our game planning things tend to be different than from team to team. We're not necessarily different from everybody else, but things vary from team to team. So, all this gives these guys a head start toward next year.
As he's been limited, what have you tried to get kind of installed mentally, I guess, with Zubac, as far as just giving him a sense of what's going to be expected and whatnot? Like how are you, I saw you talking to him after practice. What's that process been like, just getting him an idea of what's going to be like?
He just brings a new element to our franchise. Brings the size and power and finishing around the basket, and it's unlikely that we're going to see cross matching with him. I mean, they're going to keep the 5 on him. With Miles sometime and Pascal sometimes. Elisha said a lot of times teams put a smaller guy on Miles to switch and a bigger guy on Pascal to try to make it hard for him to score. If teams put a smaller guy on Zubac, good luck. He's gonna massacre people around the basket. He's just that good. And so the element that he brings, we have to get our players up to speed on some of the opportunities that are going to be there. And so it's an adjustment for him, but it's also an adjustment for our guys that we have to calibrate. For him and for Kobe Brown, it's the speed of the game. The Clippers played more of a medium tempo game. Their style is just different. Their personnel's different, So our style is what it is. We built our roster around Tyrese, Pascal, and playing with tempo, and so a lot of Zubac's opportunities are going to come off of movement, but we have to get everybody up to speed on what those opportunities look like and raise the level of awareness.
You mentioned a lot of the things Kobe Brown could get from these practices. How did you see him take on those challenges of learning the terminology, getting more integrated with the way you guys play, especially after you already played twice?
Yeah, both these guys are very smart players and pick up things very quickly. I think it speaks a lot to Kobe Brown's aptitude for the game that really, he had one shoot-around in New York and went out there and was the best plus-minus guy we had in the team. And he played 24 minutes. And he hadn't been playing much for the Clippers. So, there's a lot of good signs with both of these guys. And, I certainly, and the hope is that Isaiah and Ben, work out really well for the Clippers, because you want trades to be win-wins.
Any other injuries out of these practices besides Johnny, Obi, and Tyrese?
Any other injuries? Well, you'll see it on the injury report whenever that comes out, if there are.
Coach, playing off Dustin's question just about player development this year, has that been a particularly rewarding aspect for you as a coach? Because obviously coaching is X's and O's, but it's also you want to see players get better, and that's probably some of the reasons that you get into this profession, right?
It is, and the meaningful aspects of coaching, leading, teaching are helping guys get better. I mean, young guys generally get better just because they're younger and they get more experience. I've always believed that players that are older and more experienced can get better too. They can use the tools that they have from the experience that they have to understand elements of the game better, and they can take their game from maybe here to another notch up, and as you become more experienced and more accomplished, it's harder to make huge gains, but I believe those things are possible. And anytime you can help a guy extend his career, be more healthy with our medical staff, who's award winning, it's gratifying. It's gratifying for the organization.
Do you feel like your franchise has some good momentum after 2 wins right before the break, and now coming back and just ready to rip roar down the stretch, I guess, to see what you can do?
Yeah. All good. We're ready to go.
Having some time off, how's your body feel, and how did you feel everyone looked at practice the last couple of days?
Yeah, it was nice to just get a little time off, see friends and family, reset, get some sun. Excited to get back, excited to hoop.
As a point guard, you've had a lot of different centers to work with. Some of these practices with Ivica, what stands out about his skill set, and how much are you enjoying even, no matter what happens in the games, the work that you're going to get in practice the next couple of months?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something you're going to have to feel out for the time coming. I mean, we played live for maybe a few possessions, but I think his screening is going to be a big thing to just give us a lot of space, us guards coming up.
Both big like that at any level before, or even here that I'm forgetting?
Big like that in which way?
The screening that you're talking about, the stuff he does around the basket.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Timmons killer in the back.
That's right.
In the 2-point area when I played at Gonzaga, but he's a lot bigger than him, a lot stronger. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a filling out process and different dynamics.
Non-basketball specific question. Noble Okello just signed with the Indy 11. You guys played together at the Toronto FC Academy. You said you were a really good soccer player.
Yeah.
How cool is it to have someone that you played with when you were
Appreciate him
younger?
saying that. It's tough.
How cool is it to have someone you played with when you were younger in the same city playing professionally in their own sport?
Yeah, it's cool. Definitely really enjoyed playing soccer, and we had some good times playing for TFC, but glad to see him doing well. Nice to see he's in Indy, for sure.
Were you the tallest guy on the soccer field?
Me and him, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you have good momentum? I mean, you got 2 wins right before the break. You feel energized now as these last 20, 30 games are going to come around?
Yeah, I think we're excited about the opportunity to grow in these next 30 games and come together as a group, enjoy ourselves.
You mentioned being excited about growth, and that's a big factor now, obviously, for this team to grow together, grow individually. Like a lot of times we're talking about playoff position now, it's obviously not the case. But is that an easy thing to get motivated for, is for growth, both for yourself and for the team as well?
Growth is always an easy thing to get motivated for. Getting better every day and looking at little places of your game, you could see improvement. And I think when you look at growth in hindsight, it's always fulfilling. So, yeah.
I guess to keep going on that, what kind of development do you want to see? I guess what do you think is important for this group to get done, at least just in terms of how it operates together over the last couple months?
I mean, we can experiment with things on both sides of the court to see what works for us with new lineups, new players. Individually, we all have little things that we want to get better at that will help us personally and as a group.
Now that Cam's been healthy for about a month or so, what stands out to you about his game, and how do you hope to maybe help him along in his rookie year?
Yeah, just want him to be as free as possible out there as a point guard, just playing out his instincts. He does a lot of winning things, and you can tell he's come from a winning program, but just doubling down and selling out to leaving it all out there.
Doing a story on Q, what seemed like he just fit in naturally with you guys so well from the time you got in the building. I mean, like what made him such an easy fit, especially personality-wise?
Yeah, I think his energy is contagious. whether he's having a good day or bad day, he brings that winning energy that we need in the building. Plays with it as well on court on both sides with just his pace and his ability to just be an agitator out there.
Seems like, I mean, he's just fearless, and basically he doesn't ever seem like he's
Yep.
intimidated anywhere he goes. When did that stand out to you? When did you kind of first get a sense of, okay, this guy, even as a two-way guy who's been through everything to get here, he's not afraid of it all?
Yeah, I mean, it showed early on. He's just a fearless guy. He's trying to, like I was saying with Cam, let it all out there.
Do you have a favorite cue moment, whether it's on the floor or elsewhere?
Favorite cue moment? Nah, there's so many. I don't have a favorite cue moment. Nah.
The first practices out of the break, what do you feel like when you can integrate new guys? I know Ivica's not doing everything, but what does that help with them and learning terminology, picking up pitch, things like that?
Yeah, it was good to have some rest, so then we could have a couple of harder practices to incorporate those guys. I think that worked out well timing-wise.
For Kobe, I mean, the 2 games he played, he didn't know anything hardly. He was still productive. What did you make of the way, one, that he did that, and 2, how he picked things up today?
That's a testament to how good of a basketball player he is. Like, coming into a situation like this, I was telling him today we were going over plays, and like we know it, so we don't even really have to think too much about it. For him, it's like kind of having to try to learn everything on the fly while at the same time playing hard, everything like that, and he did that really well.
The old center group was pretty close. Now you have the
Yeah.
new guy. How have you and Ivica got on along so far?
It's been great. You know, he's one of those guys, easy to incorporate, easy to talk to, good guy, willing to learn with us, and we're trying to help him along so that he can then, you know, be the big that he is and do the things that he does well.
What do you think, just he, obviously he's a heck of a player, but what does he do just for the broader center unit in terms of just having the
Yeah,
size
you-
and the ability?
I mean, once again, it goes back to we have centers that all do slightly different things, and I think that helps make it really difficult to scout us. He's huge, really, really good rebounder. You know, he's a big body in there. So.
What do you think that could do for you long term, I guess, for the ability, like, because there is such a different option than probably being the starting lineup, you know?
Yeah.
In terms of,
No, I think it's great. I mean, once again, having multiple different options is awesome, and I think we'll learn. Each unit will learn to play with each other, and like we'll play with the different styles that we'll have.
Try to convince coach to put you both on the court at the same time.
I think a lineup of me, Micah, Zoo, Walk, and then we just throw TJ in there for fun. I think it would be awesome. I think we need to have as big a lineup as we can, and then we just have somebody take it out, throw it to like the 3-point line, throw it to half court, and then we just have a couple guys, one on each post, and you just, it's hard to guard. I don't know how you guard that. I think it's a great new system. I might be a coach one day.
tell that to Rick, see how it goes.
No, we don't have the lineup now, because if I'm a coach, I'm going to say, hey, we need all footers. But
Have you noticed from Coach, just, I guess, the progress this team has made in the development so far? Obviously, the wins and losses haven't always been there this year, but has there still been energy behind the scenes? It seems like you guys are out here and you're ready to go down the stretch, and there's energy for the rest of the season, whatever it might be.
yeah, I mean, we're always going to play hard. I think, you know, as hard as we can. It's hard, you know, given our record, it's tough, but I think there's still a lot to be gained from this type of year. A lot of development, a lot of just learning each other, learning how each other plays, and I think that's the main thing that needs to be the goal for the rest of the year.